handsome man who is in front of me, don't think he's Italian or don't think he's Greek or just somebody incredible handsome from Canada. No, his name is Vince Poscente and he is from United States of America. This person make people happy by his knowledge of Olympic. He's an Olympian guy. He wrote very interesting book, The Ant and the Elephant, and
Yep.
he gives people the happiness, the ant and the elephant, and he's teaching resilience to huge companies, to huge bosses, but he's a boss himself. Dear Vince, my first question to you: what do you think? Normally, they think that it has no connection to the topic, but I am so much interested that Russia and America are very much different. At least our politicians they think, and
They
always
think,
when
yeah.
I do you think we are really that much different, or you think that is a little bit exaggerated by the mass media?
It is a political media. I think they try very much to divide us, to say choose our side because we're better. But I've raced with Russians. I've been to Moscow, St. Petersburg. I've been in bars very late at night, and I love the Russian people. They are just so kind and family oriented, and they're curious. And you just have to meet the people before you make an opinion, I think, is the most important thing.
That is wonderful to know, and I think absolutely the same. Let hidden hero be make the nations together, not divide us. It's so easy to divide, to say the ant is different, the elephant is different. But even about ant and elephant, you managed to find some common points. Why you choose to write the book, which is called The Elephant and the Ant? And I will
Yeah.
tell you, in my speeches, always I say the elephant cannot marry the turtle. But you went even further, you choose the ant and the
Right.
elephant.
Well,
Tell me, please,
okay.
about
So
them.
this is actually based on science. And I way back in my racing days, I used mental training techniques from Russian sports psychologists, actually. And we found in our research that in a second of time, your conscious mind, the thoughts you have right now, is processing with 2,000 neurons. So 2,000 neurons are thinking what I have to say. You might be thinking that I look like the character in the movie, The Old Man from Up. Remember the Up movie?
Yes,
Anyway,
of
don't
course.
think about that. That's the conscious mind. The subconscious mind is processing, subconscious, meaning below consciousness. We're not aware of these thoughts, is processing with 4 billion neurons. So 2,000 neurons consciously, what we're aware of, 4 billion subconsciously below the awareness. The ant is the conscious mind. The elephant is the subconscious mind. And the ant is making decisions on direction in your life. We can make decisions for our business, our family, our personal health. But we have to align the elephant underneath our feet. The ant is on the back of the elephant. Let's say the ant says, I want to go west, right? So the ant starts marching west. But what if the elephant is headed east, right? You're going to end up in a different direction and go, how did I end up here? Like, how is this happening? I made a decision and I'm in a different place. And so aligning the ant and the elephant, in this book, actually, I know you have audience in India. This book is wildly successful in India for entrepreneurs because they want to be able to align themselves with what they want to create with their business. And they want to align the subconscious agenda, right? To make sure we're going in this alignment is going to make things so much easier.
So you mean that this subconscious thing, which is an elephant, it's much bigger than the ant. So if you decided, okay, I will earn $1 million this month, not a year, this month, I will be incredibly successful. If the subconscious say, no, you will not do it because you don't have enough knowledge, you don't have enough money, you will not succeed. Is that
Right.
about that or not?
Yep, that's it. That's it. It's being able to align the conscious and subconscious mind. And when you do that, things get easier.
Any tip that you can give to us how to do it? Because it sounds
Yeah.
very easy, but it's almost impossible. Especially elephant is much bigger than the ant.
Well, that's just it. You can, all day long, you can make a decision on what you want to accomplish consciously. But it isn't until you really understand this fact, you'll gravitate towards your dominant thought. So whatever thought you're thinking about the most, you'll go towards that thought. Two, you will gravitate, you will be drawn towards things that you believe to be true. We have conscious truths, but we have subconscious truths as well. And so being the architect of the truth and the dominant thought is critical. One of the tools that I used were these gold dots. And you see this gold dot would represent a trigger for what's called the emotional buzz. In the book, The Ant and the Elephant, it's the elephant buzz. It's when a thought has a physical reaction from it. So one thing you didn't mention is I went from recreational skier at 26 years old to the gold medal round in the Olympic Winter Games in 4 years. From a recreational skier at 26 to gold medal in 4 years? How? How does that happen? It happens when you align 2,000 neurons and 4 billion neurons in the same direction. And so this kind of alignment can be triggered by having an emotional buzz, thinking, when I saw gold dot when I was racing, it was, I am the fastest speed skier in Canada, top 10 in the world. Now I'm originally from Canada.
We want to add that, Vince, he want to merge all the countries. He said that he has roots from Italy. His mother is from Ireland. And he said, guys, I'm not from Texas. I'm not from USA. I'm from Canada. So if you want to know the mixture of everybody, plus Olympic champion, plus a business speaker, plus the author of the books, plus the businessman, then you meet him.
Yes, you don't know what I am, but definitely like you, Olga, I want to be able to help people, entrepreneurs, create a better business, to grow their business. And in order to do that, to be the hero in your own life, use a gold dot to be the trigger for where you want to go. But it has to have a physical reaction. And that physical reaction is not just the feel-good stuff. It's also the stuff that makes you a little nervous, that creates anxiety. Because when you blend anxiety and the feel-good, the emotional buzz, that's when you have a litmus test, a good idea of the ant and the elephant headed in the same direction.
Can I do that, Vince, like to have this golden dot? Let's say on my phone, I don't have this golden dot or something. Right. I'm looking on the other phone because I have one phone for Dubai, one phone for Moscow, one phone for Kazakhstan. But
really?
I don't, but I don't have any dots. So can I put this dot that you say makes me stronger and make me remove this elephant and think about the ant to become stronger and really to be the leader and to believe in myself?
Anything.
Can I put, let's say, a dot on this on the wall, or I can have some, let's say, this ring. I will show you because I have twins. This is assembling twins. Can I use this? It's like two butterflies. Can I use that as this trigger? Or should it be something special or what?
I think it should be something that stands out so that when you walk by a wall or something in the odometer in a car, or you see it on your cell phone, you go, oh yeah. And then you flip and you go to that emotional buzz, the experience of that coming true. Because the gold dot doesn't work if it's just a thought. It needs to trigger an emotional buzz where you feel it up and down your spine, that in your body, you just go, oh, if that came to, if I was marching in the opening ceremonies of the Olympic Games, if I'm fastest in Canada, top 10 in the world, I'm going to march in the opening ceremonies of the Olympic Games. And that thought creates a physical reaction where you go, oh, I'd love to do that, right? So it has to have this physical reaction that's sparked by something that you see it and you go, oh yeah, it's a reminder, it's a trigger. So you can use those little sticky gold stars. You remember you got in school that your teacher would put on.
Yeah. And I love that. And I love that. Really, it make me very proud and very happy. And for many kids, it didn't work. But for me, it worked. For emotional people, I think it works a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you think we should change that from time to time, or it doesn't matter? It's not that important. What is that?
You only change it if you don't see it anymore. If you just don't even see the gold dot or the gold sticker, then you change it to a duck, a little duck or whatever. And you go, oh yeah, right. It needs to be a trigger for your emotional buzz. That's the important thing.
Tell me, please, what is from your Olympian experience? You said it's a lot of mental, it's a lot of preparation. It's definitely a lot of strength. For me, Olympians, they're a little bit like space people, people who go into space, because their mindset is definitely, and
Yeah.
we Russians, we love space, and and by the way, United Arab Emirates last year, they also sent a person to the space. So, now everybody, Elon Musk, and even a few days ago, Russians sent first movie
Yeah, I heard
group,
about that. Yeah,
to
that's
shoot.
interesting.
So now anybody going to space. Anyway, from Olympic point of view, um, can we use something from the mindset from there in our normal life?
Yeah, well, the advantage that an Olympian has is they are so dialed in. They are so focused on a date, the rankings in the world. There are metrics out there that allow them to dial in on something very specific and work their way backwards to say, okay, if I want to be here and I'm here, these are the steps I need to get. In business, there's no deadline normally. In business, there's no time frame. There's no specific ranking or something like that. So you don't have the advantage of having those steps on a ladder that are very obvious. But you can make them for yourself, like to have, 10 sales a day. Now I'm going to do, if I do 10 sales a day for the next 365 days, my business will have such and such revenue in that target. So they're called KPIs, key performance indicators.
Don't
And
worry, in any business company, we only talk about KPIs. The morning starts from KPIs, the evening going to KPIs, and even people say we're afraid of these KPIs
oh, no,
because
no, no, no. Yeah, don't be afraid of those. That's going to drive the passion for. See, here's the deal, Olga. It's you can have a number, and the number is like, oh, that'd be nice. But if the number represents a cabin by the lake that you paid for in cash, right? Then you have an emotional connection to that number. And so the number has to have an emotional connection, or it's that you're going to host a family reunion for everybody in your family who's spread out all over the country, or something like that. Something that has emotion attached to it is so critical in order to be able to create that alignment between your ant and elephant.
That is true. You wrote also one book. It's about, this safety. Yeah. And you talk a lot about safety.
Yeah.
Do you think, okay, I always live in Dubai or even in Kazakhstan in a very, very, in skyscrapers. And always I see how these
Yeah.
alpinists, how they're cleaning the windows. It's like Spider-Man. And I will tell you, for me, I'm very frightening because what they're doing and how they're cleaning that, maybe because I'm producer and director of the movies, but I think it's
Right.
really frightening. And
Right.
especially when my son is saying, hello, are you married? How are you? I say, don't talk to them because it's very dangerous. Don't ask that questions. And the guy say, oh, no, I'm not married yet. Do you have somebody in mind? It's like, what do you think? These safety things, it is important only for the risky jobs, or you think about, in general, safety in business and safety in life?
Yeah. So the important thing with safety is that it's a very much a it's a culture of safety professionals who predominantly put up a sign or make somebody take a course, or there are a lot of action oriented biases saying, do this and you'll have safe results, do this and you'll have safe outcomes. The company I created called Radical Safety is talking about the emotional quotient that will allow people to make better decisions on the job, safer decisions. And so much like an athlete has an emotional attachment to where they want to go, Radical Safety is about helping companies establish that connection to the emotional reason they want to be safe. And then they're naturally going to make safe decisions, not because of the sign or not because of the workshop, which are all important. They're reminders, but it's the emotional connection that's critical.
Do you think now, in the era when nothing is safe, I was just shooting a movie right now, and one of my crew got sick because we have COVID everywhere. So we cannot say that
Yeah.
I will protect my team, or I can guarantee 100%, because this safety doesn't exist anymore. Nothing is safe at all. Even to go out from the house without
Yeah.
sanitizing, the mask is not safe. How we can in general, how we can survive at that unsafety times?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to come from an athlete's perspective again and say that an athlete, there is a tendency to think, what are the big things that are going to help me win? In the production set, what are the big things necessary for us to make sure everybody's safe? But an athlete will always win based on all the small things they do, all the little things they do. So making sure that it's a collection of small things, from social distancing to the masks to the vaccines, to all the small things that we can do in the bigger concept, will help us have better results in that moment. And I know that's maybe not a sexy answer, but it's definitely the way an athlete wins, and I like to think that that's the way we can win on the job as well.
No, that is great answer, because this answer give positive thinking. What is your biggest achievement that you think the best in your life for yourself?
Hmm. I'm going to answer it this way. There's a question you can ask people: what are the best 5 years of your life? And the answer should be the last 5 years, right? So I would say my greatest achievement is living this long, because I keep doing things like I've skied at 216 kilometers an hour down a mountain. That's crazy. But this actually, in the last 5 years, I've written another book called The Earthquake. And this is actually a sequel to the Ant and the Elephant. So the Ant and the Elephant get to the oasis in this book. It's a very linear concept. In the Earthquake, what I did was, the opening line is, there's no linear way out of chaos. Meaning, there's no direct line to navigate uncertainty, right? And so when the ant and the elephant go through an earthquake, they realize in this parable that they have to come up with what's called the solution loop. And that is the ability to create a plan to find out if this will help them get out of the earthquake. You know how when somebody goes through maybe cancer or divorce or bankruptcy or something, they can get stuck. And somebody listening right now could be stuck where they can't break through. That's a very natural human tendency. And so, to answer your question, for the last 5 years, I've been trying to answer that question of what's the formula to get out of feeling stuck, of feeling like we can't break through this next part of our life because of the big setback of that personal earthquake. Then hopefully that the work we do is helping the world become a better place and bring us together. So that's I would say that's it.
It's interesting that you are Olympian, but you became an author, because it's completely different set.
Yeah.
Olympians, these are very active people. They need this plan. They want to win. They like this feeling of being a champion. And of course, they like movements. And I saw even how you talk from the stage. You like to be on the chair. You like to show as if you are skiing. So you never can sit normal. How
No.
you take this energy, huge
Yeah.
energy from yourself into writing skill, and how you use your energy in that way? Is it difficult or not for you?
Yeah. Well, what's the challenge is to be a student of the vocation that you choose. So, for example, when I was ski racing, I was a student of aerodynamics. I was a student of mental training. I was a student of what makes people tick, what makes them think in the successful direction. And then after the Olympics, I went, okay, what does a professional speaker, like I was giving speeches at conferences. Oh, we lost you. All right. Well, I think we're still recording. Anyways, what makes people do that? So what do we do here?
Vince, I'm here with you.
I see you.
I see you also, so please continue.
Yeah. So after the Olympics, then it was the thought: how do you create a a good speech at a conference? Because so I always look at things as a competitive landscape. I look forward and I think, okay, now if I'm in sport, that's easy to understand. But as a speaker or an author, there are tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of authors, right? How do I become better than them, right? And what we always do in competitive environments is I want to do what the competition is not doing. And what the difference that I've found is so effective is to identify your competition as the highest performer. The people are some of the best in the world, and then do what they're not willing to do.
For example, other speakers, they are not as funny as you are. They may be not that fit as you are, because that's why you look like an actor, because you are fit and smart and physical trained. That's why you make them laugh, and you make that is what you're doing in a way.
That's all by design, though. That's, I worked out this morning for an hour. Did I want to work out? No. I wanted to lay down and eat potato chips and watch Netflix. but instead, it's to be able to be fit, mentally fit. I meditate twice a day, not because I want to be better than anybody else. I want to be better myself. Do what the competition is not willing to do. And you want to know what they're not willing to do? Look in the self-honesty mirror and say, what am I not willing to do? You will get the answer very, very quickly. And there's just, I want to leave your listeners with a metaphor that is so effective, because we're so oriented towards instant gratification that this kind of thing is gradual. Becoming a better author is gradual. And so imagine that we had a goal, you and I, Olga, had a goal to have a blue bucket of water. Now, this bucket is, let's say it's 1,000 gallons. If this 1,000-gallon bucket of water is clear water, and the rule is we can't put more than 1 drop of blue dye in the bucket per day. So we come up to this bucket, we're very excited, and we go, whoop, put that blue dye in the 1,000 gallons of clear water. What happens? It dissipates, disappears. We don't see a blue bucket yet, but this is only the first day. The next day, whoop, next day, whoop. If you miss a day, you can't catch up the next day with 2 drops, right? So you're only allowed 1 drop per day. So if you skip a day, then it's not going to get any bluer. But the problem with the blue dye in the bucket is we cannot see little differences. We can't see incremental differences in the bucket getting bluer. You have a brother or sister when you were growing up, maybe, right?
Yes, I have a younger sister. She is very famous virtual investor. She's
Oh,
my
really?
younger sister, but she's very good in earning a lot of money. You give her $1 million, she will get $2 million.
Oh,
You
I
get her
know.
2 million, she will give you
Woo!
4 million. So you need to know her.
Well, I'd love to. Well, growing up with my brother, I remember an uncle would come in from out of town and he would say to my brother, Stephen, you're so much bigger. And I'd look at Stephen and go, he is? Like I would go, I don't see the difference. You don't, if it's your bucket, you don't see it getting any bluer. You don't see small differences. It's not till somebody comes along and says to us, hey, Olga, Vince, what a nice blue bucket you have. And it's like, oh, yes, it is blue. So this drop of dye is such an important part of aligning that with your emotional buzz. So if there's an emotional buzz, I know, by exercising daily or meditating or working every day as writing, being better as an author, will get us eventually to that blue bucket, that arrival point where you go, oh, this is all coming together. Great, right? So it's just consistency that has emotion attached to it.
Vince, I want to thank you so much, even though I look like a ghost from Kazakhstan because I'm disappearing. But you did it amazingly well. You were as a captain of the spaceship. You took everything in your hands and you behaved very strongly. And I know where is your power from. as Japanese said, kaizen, the
Oh,
skill
yeah.
of the small steps, and this is
Yeah.
what you are telling, teaching, and recommending. And definitely, I will do that. And if I will be eating chips and watching Netflix, I will know that Vince by that time is doing something good. So I will
That's it.
try to catch you